Welcome to the Healthy Way Podcast with Shahi. I'm your host, Shahi Taruti. My intention with this podcast is to teach and inspire you to reach your maximum potential in your health and life and to become the healthiest and best version of you. I will be interviewing world-class international experts in the health and wellness global community. Our topics include lifestyle, nutrition, fitness, mindset, and spirituality. Periodically, I will also be tackling health topics that I'm passionate about sharing with you. Either way, you're in for a treat. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our time together. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Healthy Way with Shahi podcast. In today's episode, I have a very special guest. My guest is Sarah McNicol. She is a life coach and she's located in the UK. And we were both part of a global women community of coaches. And actually, we have been so fortunate to have met in some exotic location over the past 2.5 years. I've met Sarah 2.5 years ago, and we've met in Mallorca, Paris, Hawaii. And I'm so excited to have Sarah as my guest today. Welcome, Sarah, to the show.
Thanks so much, Shahi. It's really exciting to be here. I'm always delighted to connect with you.
Thank you. Sarah, I really love how much you help people rediscover their life and support them reclaiming their future and start living a life that thrills them so that they really feel accomplished. I love the work that you do. And why don't you tell us, how do you actually believe it's possible for someone to get unstuck from maybe a current life situations that's not really favorable for them? How is this possible? Why don't you talk to us about that?
Okay, yeah, well, for sure it's possible. I'm currently coming out of an unfavourable circumstance myself, and it's what I help people do to move past whatever they've been living that hasn't suited them, that hasn't really had them thriving. And it starts with a conscious decision that they're not happy with whatever aspect of life it is, and a choice to make changes, a choice to go for something new, something different, something more desirable, something that is going to allow them to feel meaning and purpose and satisfaction.
Yeah, and really fulfilled, right? That's really important, to live a fulfilling and fulfilled life. But I'm really curious. I'd like you to tell us, what was it that inspired you to do the amazing work that you do?
Well, I've always been involved in personal transformation. I say always. For 26 years, I've been developing my coaching skills, and I have been doing a lot of work in the corporate arena and in education. And then in my early 40s, and I'm going back nearly 10 years now, I had a very sad experience when 3 really dear friends of mine died in a short period of time, in a 2-year period. And each of these friends, they were all vibrant people, passionate about life, on with projects. They'd got ideas about things that they were going to do in the future, and each of them died of cancer. It was completely unexpected, and they suddenly were not able to do the things or live the lives that they had envisaged. And this was it was a very traumatic experience,
of course,
in my life. And I was very sad, as you can imagine. And eventually, as I began to heal, what I realized was they had given me a great gift. And the gift was waking up to the fact that my life is right here, right now. It's not in the future when I've got things handled and I've achieved certain levels of skill or effectiveness, or the conditions are favourable. I realise it's really important for me to be living my very best life today, because I can't bank on tomorrow being around to do that. So that really gave me ultimately, it took a while to move my work in this direction, but ultimately it gave me the inspiration to use the coaching skills and expertise that I've been developing for 20 odd years at this point, to use those in service of other people living their best lives and creating new chapters here and now.
Sure. I mean, that's very profound, especially that living in the present really is the best thing that you can start doing in order to avoid all the worries of the future and really thinking of the past and all the sad moments that get us stuck, really. So living in the present is really key. But I would like you to maybe tell us, let's say, because we all feel stuck at a point in time in an area of our lives, but maybe you can guide us on how we can, if we choose to have our life be different, what can we do?
Yeah, of course. And you're so right, Shahi. We all feel stuck sometimes. And, you know, even when things are going well, there'll be moments, days, weeks when in certain aspects we feel stuck. And so the techniques that I'm about to give you, you can apply on a big scale to your life, but you can also apply on a small scale to a particular aspect of life. So the first, as I said at the beginning, the first step is deciding that you want things to be different.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the first step. And that actually is an action stating to yourself, I want to make a change. It may come out of things not working in the way that you want. It may come out of having ambitions and goals for things that you want in the future. But either way, saying to yourself, right, I'm going to make a change.
So a decision, it starts
a
with
decision.
a clear, definite decision that you want to change.
Yes, absolutely. And then I've devised some really simple questions that are sort of deceptively simple, that can help you step off into that journey. So the first question to ask yourself is, what really matters to me? At this point in my life, what are my priorities? What's meaningful? What's the most important things? And then ask yourself two questions together. It might help to make two lists. Under one head, one of the lists is entitled What's Working Well, and the other list is entitled What's Working Less Well. So think about your life, don't censor, allow yourself to just free flow with ideas. What's working well in my life and what's working less well? And these questions will help you begin to gain clarity about where you're at right now. And it's really important to know where you're at as a starting place for where you want to move forward to. And then the third set of questions, or in fact the fourth question is, and again, you might do this in two lists. One of the lists is, what do I desire more of? And the other list is, what do I desire less of? So assuming anything's possible, So at this point, don't be thinking about practicalities. Don't be thinking about how you would get from here to there. Simply give your mind permission to think about what it would look like if anything was possible.
So really staying away from the how, just not
Totally.
thinking. And I really not the logical, because logic is what keep us stuck. So just keep our imagination to all the possibilities, infinite possibilities, if we can say.
Absolutely, you've got it. And in addition to that, I'd say refer to your inner world. So it's very easy to look outside and see examples and see things that we are told we should aspire to, and things that will make us happy. But for this process, it's really valuable to refer to your own self, look into your own heart, and think about it from the point of view of what will really make you happy.
Absolutely.
Forget others' expectations, forget external ideas of what success looks like. This is about you and what really matters most to you.
Right. That's amazing. But I think this really requires lots of mindset shifts sometimes. I would imagine it would be not so easy for so many to really get to this place where they can believe that this can happen, the change can happen, that they can really get unstuck from whatever situation they face. So why I mean, how do you see that mindset can really influence the process?
I think mindset is absolutely fundamental to the process. I think you're right. Our brains have different facilities and different capacities, and often one that is very well developed is our self-protective mechanism, otherwise known as fear.
Right, that's the biggest one.
Yes, it's the biggest one, and it's there for a good reason. It's there to protect us and keep us safe. And often, when we look about at new possibilities, fear kicks in, because our ancient lizard brain says, "Oh my word, danger, unknown territory.
It can't happen."
Yes, it can't happen. It's dangerous. I'll fail, look like an idiot, whatever your version of fear is that kicks in. And that is a mindset.
Right.
And it's a mindset that keeps us stuck within our comfort zone or our safety zone. So a really effective way of changing and developing more of what you want is to change your mindset by challenging some of those fearful thoughts that crop up for all of us. It's just part of life, and so there are two ways that I'd recommend to do that. One is,
tell us.
One is when you're going about living life and suddenly you feel fear, doubt, uncertainty, ask yourself, what is it that I'm telling myself in this situation? And quite often it'll be something like, I can't do it, I haven't got what it takes, it might not work. It'll be those sorts of statements. And what you can do is, when you've identified those statements, you can really challenge them. They're all projecting into the future, and actually you don't know whether it's going to work. And maybe when you think about it, you might be able to think of other times when you did do new things and you did achieve results. So you can provide yourself with encouraging examples that kind of remind you that you are good at doing, making changes. And another way of changing your mindset is repeating new habits. So fear is a habit, really. Fearful thinking, fearful mindset is an old habit, and you can start cultivating a new habit. So that might be, you might do that by a method of creating a mantra for yourself. So
why don't you give us examples of what those mantras could be and how to actually apply them on a daily basis, if that's what's required?
Okay, so positive mantras that you might use to encourage yourself and empower yourself might be things like, very simple ones, I can do this, or I'm practicing changing my thinking, I'm cultivating a new way of approaching life. A really good one that I like about creating a new chapter is, I give myself permission to create the life I love.
Yeah.
That's a mantra that I've used personally and found it, because we don't necessarily believe that we have a right to create a life that we love, let alone the ability to do it.
Correct.
So and the thing about mantras, the way that I would suggest you use them, and in fact there are free apps that you can download where you can record your own mantra. And the thing about a mantra is, it's about repetition, listening to these or reading these positive words on a regular basis.
So repetition is key, really. You need to, so
that it becomes there, present in your mind, and you can draw on it in those moments when you feel doubtful or fearful, or feel like you shouldn't be giving yourself permission.
You're cultivating a new belief. You need to keep repeating this belief until it becomes a reality in your mind, and really crowd out all the old beliefs of fear and I can't do that and it can never happen. So
exactly. Yeah. And you'll find, as you do that, the more you do it, it's like exercising. It's building up muscles, and the more you repeat it, the more you do it, the muscles get stronger, and they're there ready for you when you need them.
That's amazing, really, Sarah. And because I truly believe that really life is too short to live it struggling and stuck. And while it's not impossible to completely change that situation, you need to, just like you explained, you need to start by decision and then believing that it's possible for you. And then I love the process that you just described of how you can start applying this and building a new belief and actually start moving to completely transformed, fulfilling life that lights you up. It's so worth it. I mean, the experience is so worth it. Sarah, I really admire the work that you do. You are supporting and helping people really live the life that thrills them and make them feel inspired and accomplished. So that's amazing. And thank you for sharing everything that you shared today with us. And thank you for being here.
Oh, you're so welcome, Shahi. Thanks for having me. It's been delightful talking with you.
My pleasure. Thank you. And of course, in the show notes, there'll be a link to where our audience can reach you and find out more about the work you do. And can you tell us your website?
Yeah, my website is sarahmcnicol.com. Very straightforward. Awesome. And I work online with people all over. So yeah, come and say hi.
Thank you, Sarah, so much. It was a pleasure having you today.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I truly hope you've enjoyed listening to this episode of the Healthy Way podcast with Shahi. You can always find any links mentioned on the show over on the show notes. If you haven't subscribed to the show already, remember to click on the subscribe button next to the podcast. If you scroll further down on the podcast page on your phone, you can tap to rate our show and leave your review on iTunes. I'll see you on the next episode.